Wondering what could have happened here, they hear another phantom shot and all go running. Either someone was trying to scare them off, or something seriously paranormal is there. Number 12. The Shadows Are Coming For You, published by ILM and Bono Paranormal in July of 2021. This creepy clip shows you are never as alone as you think. A man is walking through an abandoned building and his camera scans the room. Look carefully in the window pane. A shadow figure passes by, outlined against the glass. It's unclear if the figure is outside walking past or inside being reflected, but all I do know is the cameraman has company. If I were him, I'd be getting out of there ASAP. Number 11. This demonic place will spit you back out again. Published by Toppy in February of 2022, a paranormal team encountered real demons in this creepy place. They soon hear sounds in the abandoned building and capture voices as they continue their search. Everything is falling apart and is probably unsafe. As they look down an endless dark hallway, they hear what they think is water running. And then this scares them to attention. There's undoubtedly something in here. The question is it human? They won't be able to see it with their light off. When your recording equipment starts going haywire, that's a clear sign that the spirits don't want you here after all.
Our story continues on the Mount Crumpet Cliffs with an express delivery.
Is this just a smudge in the window? Or is this ghost watching you? Published by Korean channel Lonely Gang in July of 2019, this scary video was originally captured in August of 2013. The footage shows a cameraman walking alongside some abandoned buildings at night. The camera turns down an alleyway when up in the corner of the window, on one of the buildings, is a ghostly face staring at him.
작년 8월 19일 여름에 찍은 거죠. 부산의 모 휴가촌이죠, 휴가촌. 또 아무런 총각이 저를 쳐다보고 있습니다. 휴가촌에서. 자, 저기 보이십니까?
A still shot of the window shows the creepy image up close, and it looks like a semi-transparent young man looking sideways out of the window. What is the identity of this ghost? Any guesses? All I can say is that whoever this is, it clearly wants people to stay far away from this building. Number 9. Uday Hindi is exploring an old building when he comes across a little girl staring at him from the corner of the room. The door furthest away from both of them shuts all by itself before he gets a chance to investigate. Despite this, Uday Hindi bravely pushes into the next room and discovers she is not a girl, but rather a creepy life-size doll. He roughly handles the doll from room to room and throws it on the floor, and that's when the doll decides it's had enough. I saw no strings when the doll moved, did you? Anyway, he is busy analyzing some strange and possibly demonic markings on the doll when suddenly this happens. Watch and try and translate what he says shortly before it goes all wrong. This part I feel like could have been from the way the doll was leaning on the wall before it fell, but the incident before that I feel could be quite real. Number 8. On March 17th, 2021, members of Museo del Horror traveled to a derelict building in an unknown city in Mexico, live streaming the entire adventure. Just after beginning their investigation, the group ventures to the side of the building. As they come to some stairs on the side, a faint growl can be heard on the audio. None of the participants noticed it during filming, but viewers were quick to point it out in the comments. It sounds either like a growl or an attempt to whisper something, but it is difficult to determine what. From here, they enter the building, which is hollowed out and falling apart. Nothing of note happens until just after the 40-minute mark of the stream. A high-pitched noise can be heard, almost like a screech or another hiss, albeit longer than the previous one heard. It's also possible that this was the sound of something rubbing against another object, similar to metal rubbing against metal. The last speculation is it could be someone breathing in, possibly one of the explorers, although nobody else seems to be around except Alfondo holding the camera, and he starts speaking before the sound goes away.
Si está bien la distancia, todo está bien.
The team decides to conduct a Ouija board session, which is not recommended for amateur explorers, by the way, to see if they can get any activity. Not long after starting, a very faint voice can be heard on the audio.
Are you the key?
오, escucha.
There's a spot.
It sounds as if there are words in there, but it is almost impossible to make out. The voice can be heard speaking over questions being asked. Could someone be trying to communicate? Soon they get an answer of yes on the board after being asked a question, and the board remains active for some time. When asked if it is a man, it responds no. Throughout the session, dogs can be heard barking wildly in the background. The dogs were rather quiet prior to starting the Ouija board, and now they are nearly frantic. Animals are known to be sensitive of the paranormal. Could they be distressed at what the team is doing? Or is there another explanation? In the midst of the session, by far the most bizarre event happens. Alfondo's attention is called away to a strange light manifesting on the opposite side of the building from where they are. In the opposite corner, it appears as if a flame has been lit, flickering. Suspicious others might be in the building. They call out and make their way to the area. One of the team members shows a few photos she took, and along with the glow of a fire, the windows make it appear to be daylight outside. However, the video camera always showed the windows to be dark. Furthermore, the photo camera was not using a flash, meaning it could not be a reflection. What could this mean? They decide to do a spirit box session, and instantly, the sounds the box makes sound straight out of a horror movie itself.
Tired of nighttime period leaks? Try Always Ease disposable period underwear. They absorb 5 times more than ultra-thin overnight pads and provide 360-degree leakage protection. Wake up to clean sheets. Try Always Ease.
This December at Bob's, I've got tons of trending styles for $9.99 or less, like my Playdate section, Phantom Power reclining sofa, Brookline.
While it is most likely caused by the rapid switching through radio frequencies, we have never heard another session sound as terrifying as this. Alfondo walks with the device to the other end of the building, and throughout hears some disturbing sounds. First, what sounds like someone wailing in distress. The most disturbing capture of the night is what sounds like a child crying out in fear or pain. It's hard to imagine what could have happened at the location, as it appears some manner of horrors still reside there, endlessly crying out in the afterlife. Number 7. Exploring with Darknet is a YouTube channel dedicated to recording abandoned locations in all of their various forms. This time the group finds themselves inside of a large building that looks to have once been a manufacturing plant of some sort. While checking out various pieces of rusted machinery, they can't shake the feeling that they are being watched. Distant phantom lights follow them and snuff out randomly. On the second floor, they come across a room that appears to be strewn with heaps of garbage and adult diapers. At one point, they come across another room containing more trash and a woman's right shoe. The left one is nowhere to be found, so perhaps there was a struggle here. If you can translate the writing on this wall, please let me know what it says and also what language it is in. It might give us some clues as to exactly what happened here, and maybe even make some sense out of what happens next. They then come across a final room on the second floor with a dirty curtain draped across the doorway. They take a peek underneath and are greeted with a final scare. Listen closely again and you can hear someone screaming behind them as they pursue. Their wails echoing off thin corridor walls. Number 6. Not everybody in India is a believer of the spirit world. Varun Kati seeks to dispel the legends behind the most haunted places in his home country. One such debunking video of him exploring some spooky abandoned buildings in the woods left him scared but still somewhat skeptical. He goes exploring the abandoned buildings one by one, whistling and taunting for any spirits to make themselves known. Less than 30 seconds later, he gets a reminder as to why provoking the paranormal is a recipe for scary things in the woods caught on camera. A loud moan rings across the treetops, a scary noise from the woods that even Varun has to admit is strange enough to give pause. He gets a really bad feeling that says it wasn't paranormal, just afraid of a wild animal or something, and he gets out of there quickly. I think this brave explorer might be unwilling to admit that he just caught strange and scary evidence of paranormal EVPs caught on tape. He says this could be a monkey, but let me know if you agree. Here's another listen. It sounds like a ghost haunting the woods to me. Either way, ghost or animal, both possibilities sound terrifying. Number 5. When you're an urban explorer planning to explore an abandoned building, be prepared to find it occupied. All Around Lifestyle published this video in December of 2015. Mike wrote, "Me and a mate went exploring in a grain elevator, which is located in Poland in a city called Warklaw. The footage was captured on a GoPro Silver 3 edition. After exploring the cellar and several other floors, they explore the grounds. There are several other small buildings in the area, and as they approach one of them, they hear voices. This building is as dilapidated as the rest of them, rubble on the ground, but in the far room, the guys distinctly hear several voices. Mike enters the small building, and when the people in question appear in the far doorway, he asks in Polish if he can record there. One man says yes, but another says no and tells him to leave now. Mike explains afterwards that he believes the people in the abandoned buildings were living there. Don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to run into anyone in this remote place." Number 4. This urban explorer thinks he's in an abandoned building, maybe not, published by Bulgarian channel Pini Studio in December of 2020. The scary video shows the cameraman standing in a stairwell. He hears something above him that sounds like footsteps. He looks up. After a moment, a hooded figure moves into view, just one floor up. blocking the sunlight from a window above. He stands there and they stare at each other for a moment. Then, terrified, the cameraman takes off running.
Starting route by Schwarzkopf. Instant route coverage and thicker looking routes to be ready for anything.
Who is this figure, and what does it want? As it appears for now, we will never know. Number 3. Redditor Purgatory Adventure submitted this to the Chills Narrator subreddit, and they said it's one of the scariest events in Purgatory Adventures history. The Redditor described the events as the following. We captured footsteps coming down the stairs at us. The ghost hunting team appears to be in an abandoned building of some sort. One team member sits in the middle of a mostly empty room, but keep your eye on the door in the top right. And just like that, clear as day, they hear footsteps coming from the other side of that door, like someone is walking down some stairs.
What the f? That was like in the staircase, man.
Something tells me they're not alone in this place, but the question now is whether it's a ghost or a stranger. Which one do you think it is? Either way, I'd be staying far away from this place.
What the f? That was like in the staircase, man.
Number 2. What would you do if a poltergeist became more and more aggressive? Published by D-Dog Michael in January of 2022. This scary video follows this paranormal explorer through an abandoned building. Michael first encounters some unsettling sounds like bottles trembling. He thinks it's just the wind at first, but the sound becomes louder and more aggressive. This makes him run back downstairs. As they continue to explore, a window panel slides open, and later he hears regular banging noises in the hallway. When he goes to investigate, the banging noises get louder and more frequent. As he approaches a door, he asks the spirit if he can go in and look around, but the spirit seems to answer in the negative.
잠깐만 들어가도 될까요? 사람.
He runs off but returns to the same door, and as he's reaching toward the knob, he hears something inside. Finally, inside the room, there doesn't appear to be anyone around, but he hears another sound. Out in the hallway again, he reaches for a second door, and a loud noise is heard behind him.
우리 얘기합시다.
Later, he is in a dark bathroom when chaos again breaks out behind him.
잠깐만요.
He continues into a bedroom, and then he sees this shape in the window.
안으로 들어보시.
Michael decides it's time to leave this place before whatever haunts it won't let him go. I've got a challenge for you. Since you've made it this far, why not like this video and hit subscribe in the next 5 seconds? Because I upload 4 new scary videos every week. If you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. Number 1. Davo Velkrat explores an abandoned building on YouTube Live when his expression is interrupted by a distinctly human voice, or at least something doing their best impression of one. Eventually, Davo tracks the noise to a single room not far away. He waits for another minute, hesitant to go any further, and sees a face poke around the corner, but when he rushes in, the person is gone. A closer look at the room shows that there are no windows or doors that they could have escaped through from where they were positioned. There simply should be no way for them to disappear, and yet they are gone, leaving Davo Velkrat wondering what the heck is going on.
Susan Toothbrush, you moving in together, but you're still messing with your old place? Gotta make the Sonicare switch. Like some place in your new place with Philips Sonicare.
How did you get in here?
Real question is when. Step forward into a bold new era. With data, analytic.
Top 5 scary videos of ghosts caught on camera. Now you see it. So this might be one of the stranger clips anyone has ever sent me. 2 guys claim that they're standing outside their house when one of them sees what he describes as a, quote, transparent man walk by. Now, the story alone might sound ridiculous, but when they run inside to check the security camera, there is actual video proof.
Maybe that's a f***ing trap.
Man, I just hope my young good. Bang some Scooby snacks.
Up there. It's watching. Wow, that's just tripped. You barely see.
And you didn't notice nothing when you're out there? Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Goes out to the street. Keep it going.
You can see one of the guys actually watch the figure pass, while the one closest to it is completely unaware. Now, I know that video compression artifacts can sometimes cause this type of thing, but note that the transparent figure is almost the same distance away as this guy, who is perfectly clear. But let me know what you think down in the comments. A turn for the worse. Reddit user Stalker the Zone says that he works as a hospital security guard. Late one night, while doing his rounds, he noticed a wheelchair on one side of the hallway. When he returned for his next round, he noticed that the wheelchair was on the other side, even though no one had been in that area of the building. He started filming and captured this. After he noped his way out of there, he says that he didn't return until his next shift, and by then the wheelchair had been put away. He says that he hasn't had any other scary encounters since this incident. The House of Khalil. I featured Jordanian explorer Ehab Kasmia in another video, and for good reason. He has some of the creepiest ghost hunting videos online. In this video, he is investigating a place he calls the House of Khalil. As the story goes, a man named Khalil went insane and did away with his entire family in this house before ending his own life. It is said that Khalil's spirit still haunts the home. As he explores, Ahab begins to hear strange noises. And then this.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بكلمات الله التامة من شر ما خلق يا كل شيء.
Ahab sees something that looks like a person peering through the window, but when he runs inside to check, nothing. But the creepy occurrences don't stop there.
وين بهاي المواقف بتكون الشغلة يا قاتل يا مقتول. طبعا أعوذ بك يا قاتل يا مقتول أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات. بسم الله بسم الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بكلمات الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. طلعوا. بسم الله. يي. بسم الله.
Had doesn't even seem to notice some of the bizarre events that he catches on camera.
بسم الله. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. جن. والله عارف إنك جن وحياة الله.
At one point, it actually looks like a face is peering at him through a nearby window.
بسم الله. تعال. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إذا جن تعال. لا شو تعال. قشعر بدني وحياة.
Had decides to leave and investigate another abandoned house that is directly upstairs from the first one. But he feels like the ghost or jinn of Khalil might have followed him. As he investigates the house, he begins to feel like he can see something lurking behind him in the mirrors.
مش عارف شوفه زي ما أنا شفت. لسه مش داخلين جوا. صارني وجع راس كبير. هيا خلينا نحكي شوي مع الجن. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
And after that chilling experience, Ahab decides to just make a quick exit.
ما خلق. بسم الله.
So did Ahab Kasmia see the ghost or a jinn of the house's former tenant, Khalil? Or was it just an elaborate hoax? You decide.
This holiday, be ungiftable.
Unbox Sky High Stretch.
Seamless strides. Unwavering drive.
Free Spirit. This next clip is a bizarre video that's been floating around the internet for a while. Uploaders claim that this video shows a possessed man at the moment a spirit leaves his body for a new home. Now, there are very few details or even an identifiable source for this video, but it's definitely creepy. However, is it real or fake? Well, that's up to you. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Popular Dutch rapper Lange Frans claims that he has no fear of ghosts or the paranormal. So the Dutch TV program Phobiac decides to let him prove that by sending him into two of the most haunted places in Edinburgh, Scotland. The first location is a very bizarre, allegedly haunted house.
This is the 17th century house down here. This is probably one of the most famous places down here. Obviously, because we do have that, but in fact, the cement in the walls here, the plasterwork, was actually made from human cremation ash. So this, everything you see see here with human cremation ash. That's another reason why people do think it's so haunted down here, because it's literally up to what? A couple of thousand people here in the walls of this house.
True to his word, Longa Franz isn't spooked. In fact, he seems to find it funny when the film crew claims to have some spooky encounters.
Wat is er aan de hand? Je voelt het aan je voet.
Ik zit er niet op camera.
Wat zeg je?
Net een voorstel hier.
Wat op?
Ja, serieus.
Je wordt wel degelijk verstandig.
Hij zegt vanaf verder zou hier echt naartoe komen lopen.
Ja, nee, ik zweer het je.
Het is nu officieel. Iedereen begint er gewoon helemaal de pan uit te flippen hier al.
The group next visits the Greyfriars Graveyard, which is supposedly one of the most haunted places in Scotland, perhaps even the world.
This is the tomb that seems to be the most active. It's the most notorious. We call it the Black Mausoleum. Most of the attacks seem to take place right at the back of the tomb.
Longa Franz still says that he's seen nothing even remotely frightening. In fact, he's now so cocky that he decides to sit in the haunted mausoleum all alone, leaving the film crew outside. When they return to check on him hours later, it seems his attitude might have changed.
Ik weet echt niet hoe lang ik nog ga blijven, want ja, nee, ik ben al lang blij dat ik nu niet meer in mijn eentje ben, zeg maar. Hoe voel je nou even? Kut, hè? Het is zo, als je niet binnen bent, het is... Je voelt iets op je drukken, zeg maar. En ben je niet alleen.
Ga ze binnen voor een gein oliefiguur. Echt?
Echt een soort van een tikje zo op me. Godverdomme, het zal toch niet waar zijn, denk ik niet. Ah, dat kan toch niet? Maar jij voelde het ook.
So one night in Edinburgh's most haunted graveyard made Longa Franz a believer.
Eén keer en nooit meer.
As always, thanks for watching. Please follow me on Twitter, and to suggest a video, go to the Facebook page and hit